Hey everyone, Franco here from Wisdify, and today we're stepping outside the usual realm of formulas and formatting to tackle a crucial topic. Why using Excel macros can expose you to cyber threats. With the power to automate tasks, macros might seem like a gift, and they are. But you have to be really careful because they can easily turn into a curse when malicious code sneaks its way in there and puts your files and networks at risk. So imagine just working like you usually do until you're sent a file from somewhere that you don't really know. It could be a message from a stranger outside of your organization or someone pretending to be one of your office mates or even your clients. They give you a really innocent looking file and bam, you've already brought a computer virus into your organization's networks. That's not something that we want to happen. So stick with me, and I'm going to teach you how to protect your data and stay one step ahead of cyber criminals. For those of you who aren't familiar, let's get you up to speed on what macros are. So macros are actually a sequence of instructions written in Visual Basic Advanced, or VBA. They can automate tasks in Excel, so they can perform complex calculations, manipulate data. And here's the really, really cool part, but it's also where things get scary and you need to be careful. They can interact with other applications. So this is really cool, but if you haven't seen macros in action yet, well, you might not get the whole picture. So if you look at my screen right now, you should be seeing a data set containing a set of journal entries and a trial balance that I need to get them into. So no, this isn't going to be an instructional video. It won't last long on this page because I have a macro to do all of that for me. So if I need to fill out this trial balance, I can actually run a macro that does it for me. If you take a look here, I can see that, okay, things aren't balanced and I need to go back to my journal entries right away. So another good example is this currency converter I have, which has exchange rates. This currency converter changes the currency depending on the parameters that you choose. So that's really cool. But to make this work, I need exchange rates right here. And if you're new to Excel, you might be updating this every day on your own, going to websites and whatnot, and just copy pasting the data. But that's not something that you really want to do if you want to save time. So I actually have a macro that does that for me too. It's connected to an API, and I call it generate comprehensive currency table. When I click run over here, there you go. The rates are updated in real time. All right. So those are some really cool functions that you can do with macros. And as I showed you, you can even connect to the internet and pull data at the click of a button. But how can they become dangerous? Macros are really powerful, and I recommend that you use them as well. But again, be really careful because macros can actually be exploited by people who want to embed malicious code into macro-enabled workbooks. And the scary part about this is that VBA won't really request that you do anything. So you put in whatever you want, and if it works, it's going to pull it off. But that opens up the vulnerabilities of VBA. All right. That makes it so that cyber criminals can actually put malicious code into a sea of seemingly functional codes. All right. And before you know it, everything seems all right. You click enable macros and now you are trapped. Imagine trusting an innocent Excel file and having all of your company's files locked in exchange for how much? Around $1 million? I don't know, but that's definitely not something that you want to happen to you. Another scary part about this is, again, these macros can come in seemingly innocent files. And that is the second icon here, using social engineering to trick you into enabling macros, right? Someone's going to pretend to be your office mate and then tell you that this is a report you need to open and have done by tomorrow. And once you click those macros or enable editing on that file, you're done for. You might expect those emails to look something like this. something suspicious, maybe something sent by a Nigerian prince, if you will. But that's not the whole story. These attacks come where you least expect them, when you least expect them. So they might come in a package like this, seemingly innocent, and sometimes when you're on autopilot, well, you just don't pay attention. So you have to be really careful about that. Again, these aren't just tall tales. We have real-world examples of macros causing chaos on a large scale. We had the Drydex banking Trojan, Emotet, and the Locky ransomware, right? Drydex was actually part of an Excel macro, so it looks like a functional macro. But within those lines of code, there is a malicious script that is used to steal financial information from you. Another scary one is Locky. Locky ransomware actually worked like this. So it encrypted files and demanded ransom payments in Bitcoin from people who fell victim to it. And this is actually one of the files that came from a Word macro. So imagine that. You might not think that Word files are somewhere that you can get viruses from, but you have to be careful because that's where Locky ransomware was hiding. Okay. So of course, we're not just going to scare you. We want you to be prepared. Whenever you're dealing with files that may have macros in them, we want you to stay safe. And when you want to stay safe, usually what you do is you look to your sides, right? You want to be cautious. You're crossing the road, you look to your side. And that's what we want you to do as well. We want you to look to your side. So scan, implement, disable, and educate. So first is to scan. Anytime that you're downloading files off somewhere, whether it is a file that can have a macro or not, make it a regular habit to scan those files. Okay, so run them through antivirus software, just so you have that first layer of protection that there's nothing there. Cybersecurity criminals are good at what they do, so you need to add a second layer of protection, and that is to implement any security policies that your company may have to restrict exposure to malicious files. These policies can look like not opening emails from untrusted sources, not downloading files from places that are not recognized by your organization. And if you do have to download files from sources you don't trust, make sure that you're viewing them in protected view. And this might not even be enough, so we need a third layer. Let's go to disable. Make sure that macros are disabled by default and only enable them when necessary. It's better to stay safe than sorry. Okay, and the last layer of protection, just like when you want to stay safe from sickness, you want to make sure that the people around you aren't sick as well so you don't catch what they have. Educate. Make sure that the people that you work with also know how to defend themselves from the risks that macros pose. Teach them to scan, implement, and disable. And if you and everyone in your network is secure, you've helped yourself and your organization ensure that you have a high chance of fighting against the risk of cyber threats from macros. And there you have it. By understanding the hidden dangers lurking behind Excel macros, you're better equipped to secure your data and shield your organization from potential attacks. Again, I want you to use macros, right? Macros are really powerful, but we at Wisdify don't want you to expose yourselves to unnecessary risks while you use these tools. They can automate your workflows and make life much easier for you, but if you're not careful, it could also lead to everything going down the drain. So, yeah, if this guide helped you see the bigger security picture behind macros, hit that like button and subscribe for more critical insights. Any questions, experiences, or additional tips you'd like to share? Share them in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story, and we'd love to help you if there's any topic that you need guidance on. Until next time, stay informed, stay safe, and keep those spreadsheets secure. Have a great day.